You guys, look what just arrived today. I got my hands on the new Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I feel like this has been the palette of the year. I feel like most people love a good neutral palette, and I feel like this is going to be the perfect one, especially for my taste. I'm just so excited. You guys probably saw me do my purchaser pass video where I talked a lot about this one because I immediately saw the sneak peeks and I knew it had to be mine. So I went ahead and ordered this off of Sephora. I did get the expedited shipping for this one, so it did arrive a little earlier, but it already sold out in Sephora, which is crazy, you guys. Like, sold out before reviews were out. I believe the Natasha Denona site still has it, and also Ulta has this one too. I know some of you guys wanted to use your points on it, but if you do want a little discount, I do have a code with Natasha. It's just Leah Janae. You can use it anytime. But let's dive into the I Need a Nude palette. Hopefully it all came in one piece. I would say it was packaged pretty well on Sephora. But here is what it looks like. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So this palette here retails for $69. It is the mid-size Natasha palette. I feel like she's not really doing the big ones anymore because I feel like those just don't sell as well. And these do really good for the brand because, I mean, when you get over $100 for eyeshadow, it's kind of like, is it really worth it? Natasha does have my favorite formula though, so sometimes it is, but I'm glad she does more of these mid-sized palettes now. Let's go ahead and open this one up here. And we have the shades. It looks like it's fully intact, which is great. We got our mirror. Oh my goodness. These are so pretty. Oh my gosh, in person, wow. It says it's a nude stone feel color story designed to suit all skin tones and occasions, from everyday elegance to shimmering dramatic or bridal glam eye looks. It features a brand new wet effect formula and 2 glistening finishes, glossy and sparkling, for an effortless touch of dazzling magic. And the packaging on this is so cool. It's like 3D. Love it. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the swatches. First shade in the palette is Stone. This is a matte light medium warm taupe. Next we have Whisper, a metallic light nude pink. Next is Ella, a sparkling foiled warm fawn. Next we have Vague, a matte medium warm dusty rose. Next is Travertine, a metallic soft amber. We have Delilah, a sparkling wet effect silver brown. Silhouette is a matte coffee bean brown, swatched a little rough. Muse is a sparkling foiled champagne, so stunning. Fair is a matte light misty rose. We have Filigree, which is a sparkling foiled medium neutral brown. Wit is a matte light warm rose. Sheen is a glossy wet effect warm champagne. Tender is a matte medium taupe. We have Mesh, a matte light dusty rose, and Mia, a sparkling wet effect pink. And that is all of these swatches. How pretty, from the mattes to all the shimmers. So very impressed with the shimmer swatches in here. Wow, I could definitely see the really pretty effect from the sparkly wet shades. Even though they're not like super creamy or wet to the touch, they do give that ultra glitter effect. So I do want to do a couple looks with this today for you, see what we can come up with. So let's get started with the looks. Okay, so I want to go for something first, maybe with the a little bit more warmer tones that are in here. I am going to go ahead and use this shade. Let's do Wit in the crease. It's like a peachy burnt orange type of color. I did apply eye primer already. So let's go ahead and spread this along the crease. Once that is built, I'm gonna go into this next kind of warmer brown called Vague in the outer corner. And I'm gonna see if I can kind of spread this out, making it a little more of a sharper edge. And just taking a smaller brush to kind of blend those edges. Okay, next I'm going to take the color Muse just on my finger here. This one's super creamy. And we're going to place this more in the center of the eye. Look how pretty that is. So glittery and sparkly. And feels almost like a cream shadow. Next, I did wet my brush, and I'm going to go into one of the wet effect or glitter shadows here called Sheen, and kind of concentrate this in the inner portion. I'm just using a brush for this part, and then I'm going to go in with my finger, just because I prefer how my finger is on the eyes, but I can't always reach these inner portions. And then taking my finger with that Sheen color and just taking that across the entire eye. That actually kind of cooled it down, which is interesting. I was expecting it to be more, I don't know, champagne. But yeah, it kind of cooled it down a little bit, but it's still very bright and it's sparkling. These new wet effect shadows are going to be so pretty if you guys do have more aging eyelids. I know I get this question a lot because you guys feel like you can't wear shimmers when you get some more wrinkles, because there's definitely shimmers that enhance that, but I feel like these wet effects don't do that since they are just such a fine powder. Like this creamy shade that we used earlier will definitely settle into some creases, but yeah, the new wet effects I think are going to be so beautiful and flattering on anyone, any age. With this eye look, I really want to keep it kind of more angled. I'm not going to do a lower lash line color, so I'm just going in with a white liner because I really want this eye to be more bright and lifted. And I love white eyeliner. I know not everyone likes it, but I always like how it gives a pop. And then we'll sculpt with some concealer here to really clean up those edges. I'm gonna throw on some mascara. And I won't do a lash with this one just because I want this to be kind of the more natural look. Like this is a look you can put on going to work, running your errands, just even it's glam. Like you can also make it glam, but just something a little more natural. Don't need to have lashes at all. And then we'll do another more glam look. But I do like this new wet effect shadow a lot. I think it's very flattering. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this. So here is look number 1. Super easy for every day. Throw on a little lip balm. This is the Summer Fridays pink one, and you are good to go. All right guys, time for look number 2. I went ahead and redid my makeup here, but this time we're gonna go a little more smoky glam. Again, priming the eyes here. By the way, aren't these nails so fun? I recently stopped going to the salon and I'm trying out some different press-ons, and these are the Glamnetic. I don't even know if they still sell these, but they sent me this a while back and I just never used press-ons till now, but these are great quality. A little long for me. I need to get some shorter ones, but we're working with what we got. I thought these were fun for fall, but these are from the Bratz collection, like the Yasmin ones. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if they still have them. I need to go to Ulta and get some new styles because I'm really liking these, and they're supposed to last a couple weeks, and they're like 20 bucks and you get 2 sets, and I feel like that's a lot cheaper than going to the salon. Anyways, for our next look, we're gonna go into, let's do the shade Tender, and we're gonna place this in the crease. This is my 3rd time doing my eye makeup today, which is nuts. I had a photo shoot this morning. It is so hot. We had to do it so early at 8:30 because it's supposed to get like up to over 100 today. And I was already like sweating my butt off. That's why I literally curled my hair today and it looks like it kind of fell out already. I get so many questions about people that have hooded eyes and how to do eyeshadow. And the best thing you could do is take your crease up high. I do that. Mine are a little bit hooded, not bad, but I will go way above my crease. Not quite to your brow. Obviously you want to leave some space there. So that's highlighted, but yeah, I bring mine up pretty high so that you could see it when your eyes are open. Like you kind of make your own crease area. And you can always clean up with your foundation brush. Like I kind of went a little too hard in the inner portion, so I just like very gently either grab like my concealer brush and like kind of buff that so that it blends a little better, and like right underneath the brow I'll buff that too, just so it doesn't darken up that area too much. Now let's use the darkest brown in the palette. I'm hoping this will get pretty deep. I was kind of iffy on the swatches. Sometimes the mattes don't always swatch great, but then you put it on and it's really good. So we'll see. This is Silhouette. So I'm gonna pat this on in the outer corner because I love a good dark brown smoky eye. Yeah, I would say that looks pretty good. I don't usually like to use a dark black in my outer corner, so I do prefer when there is a pretty dark brown, and I would say this works really well. It doesn't fade too much, and you can definitely build it to get the depth you want. Now I'm gonna take Stone on my lower lash line and really rub this in. And I'm gonna place a little bit of Silhouette over that. But that's what I love about Natasha's mattes. They're just like easy, no mess, no fuss, even with darker shades like this. That's why her formula is my favorite, and she just has great shimmers. But I don't know, I love her matte formula. I'm gonna take Travertine on the lid. This is more of a subtle shimmer. I just kind of want to see what it looks like. So it's not over the top shimmery, but it's definitely one that would be flattering if you do have more wrinkles. But I need a little more than that. So I'm actually going to go in with Delilah and place that on top for some extra shimmer. I am going to add a brown eyeliner just along the lower lash line. I'm going to see if I can highlight my inner corner with the Whisper shade. Oh, that's pretty. I'm adding just a little bit of that into these very inner edges just to brighten that whole area. So let me go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on, and I'll show you guys the finished look. So here's how the second look came together. Put the rest of my makeup on, and we went for just overall more of a cool look. So I love how that came out. I could definitely see myself doing this eye look quite a bit because I love my smoky cool tones. So now I want to get into kind of my final thoughts on the palette and do a couple comparisons because it is a neutral palette. I want to see how close it is to some of the other Natasha Denona neutrals. So let's get into that. Okay, so I am really loving this palette so far. Honestly, I love the color story. I feel like this is going to be the perfect everyday neutral palette for me. I feel like it has just a little bit of everything from some warmer tones and some cooler tones mixed in. That's kind of what I like to do from day to day. Some of the shimmers are definitely more dramatic, very metallic, sparkly. You have those kind of wet shimmers too, which I kind of expected to be even more creamy than they are, but they just kind of give you that slight wash of sparkle, which I honestly think are going to be really pretty if you just wear them on their own, like for a one and done type of shadow look on a lighter makeup day, which I like to do quite a bit when I'm in a hurry. So I feel like that's going to be so pretty for that. Some of the shimmers I would say are a little more on the subtle side, but I just feel like it's very wearable. Now, a couple of you guys had mentioned that you guys think it's a little similar to some of the other Natasha palettes, especially the Glam palette. So I thought I would go ahead and compare the two. The Glam palette's actually like one of my favorite Natasha palettes ever. You'll see my palette is a wreck. Like, it's been used a lot. And I just wanted to quickly compare it to the new I Need a Nude. So here's what they look like side by side. Now, there is, I guess, a couple similarities for sure with these, but none of the tones matched up exactly. And the Glam palette, it's definitely leaning a little darker, very grungy, smoky, very cool toned. You have a little bit more even like darker gray tones in here, while this one just leans a little bit more neutral or wearable with some of those peachy tones and lighter pops of shimmer. So I don't find these to be exact. I definitely see differences in the two. I honestly think I might like this one a little bit even more than Glam, which is crazy. I never thought I would say that, but I don't know, this is just very wearable for me. And that was the only palette from her line that I really felt like was the closest. I mean, I did grab Biba to see. This is one of her larger palettes, but Biba is just a lot more warm, so I didn't really think these matched up all that much. I mean, some of you guys who maybe don't really where neutrals are gonna be like, those do look the same, but I can definitely tell major differences in between my neutral palettes. Here's what it looks like next to the My Dream palette. This one came out last year. My Dream definitely has some, I would say, deeper mattes in there, and also it leans more warm and has more purples. And I did grab Retro, which is just gonna have a lot more kind of mauvey, rosy tones in it. I did want to say this is the most recent Natasha launch before this, which is the Mini Starlet. Like, this just came out and now she has this one. I don't know if this one was meant to go later, but with all the sneak peeks, maybe she had to push it earlier. I don't know. If you guys were thinking about getting both of these, essentially you kind of have the same shades in this Mini Starlet in this palette, and especially with the lighter shimmer in the palette. The only one that didn't have was the bronzy one, which I did kind of swatch these side by side. So these didn't match up exact, but these are so close. I feel like I shouldn't have bought this mini one, but I mean, it will be nice to have this for travel, since I don't always like to bring my big Natasha palettes with me because I don't want anything to happen to them. So I mean, if you want a mini version, this one doesn't have like the fun cool tones that are in this one, but it does have the same kind of peachy tones. Now, I've seen a lot of people make comparisons to actually this Makeup by Mario palette, the Ethereal Eyes. I remember this one came out, I think it was last holiday, and it was impossible to get your hands on. It sold out and they never restocked it. And it does have a very similar color scheme, and even like the shimmers are very similar between the two. I think the Natasha goes even deeper, which is nice. But if you were kind of missing out on this one, I feel like this is very, very similar. Here it is next to another favorite nude palette of mine, the Nude Prism from Lunar Beauty. So there's definitely some similar color schemes out there, but I feel like nothing compares to the quality of Natasha's formula. So that's kind of my thoughts, some comparisons on the new Natasha I Need a Nude palette. I'm so excited about this one. I know you guys are too. I can't believe it already sold out on Sephora, but this is just going to be the new everyday palette, I feel like. So definitely one to add it to your list in my opinion, if you're a neutral lover like myself. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I just really wanted to share a couple looks with you that you guys could do at home, because I know so many of you guys did order this one. And again, thank you so much to all of you guys who did use my code. That means a lot to me. I know it also helps you out with a little bit of a discount too. But anyways, I'll let you go. If you want to go ahead and grab this one, I'm going to link it down below with the 15% off coupon, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.